Good morning, Nachum. Good Shabbos, everybody. Tomorrow we have the privilege of reading Parshas Korach. According to the Chinuch, Parshas Korach contains 9 mitzvos, 5 positive, including the mitzvah of Pidyon Haben on the 31st day of a baby boy. And again, there are many conditions regarding when there is the mitzvah of Pidyon Haben, and there are 4 losase, 4 restrictions. Okay, next week we catch up. This week we are reading Korach, and in Eretz Yisrael they are reading Chukas. Next week in Eretz Yisrael they read 1 Balak, and next week here we read Chukas and Balak, so we catch up to Eretz Yisrael next Shabbos. Okay, a very rich parsha, Parshas Korach. We have, first of all, the terrible rebellion of Korach, Machlokes, Korach v'Adaso, Korach and those who joined him, and we have the Bria, the creation that Hashem made according to the Mishnah in Avos, Erev Shabbos, Bein Hashmoshos. Hashem created 10 phenomena, one of them the Pi Ha'aretz, to swallow Korach and his band. And this was an incredible kind of earthquake. Usually the houses near the place of the earthquake, pictures fall off the wall and cups and saucers might fall out of the cabinet. Not here, just the immediate persons and all that they had. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a miracle, and they all went down Chayim She'ola. The rest of the parsha, interestingly, talks about, once again, proving that Aaron is the one designated as the Kohen Gadol. Each of the Nesiim bring a staff to the Mishkan. The Ramban thereby pointing out how much she'ifa, how much desire did all Israel have for more ruchnius, for more spirituality, that they wanted, if not Kohen Gadolship, more of a chelek in the ruchnius, the spirituality of the nation. And Hashem told them and showed them very clearly that the Mate Aaron not only budded, blossomed, and bore fruit at the same time compared to each of the other Shvatim whose staff remained untouched. I'd like to focus on a very interesting Medrash Pliya that I would try to enjoy with you as I did, based on the Sefer Darkei Yosef by Rabbi Yosef Shmilashvili. He quotes the following: Vayikach Moshe, Korach took, as we know. So the Medrash says, Ma Ra'a Korach lachlok al Moshe. What caused Korach to take upon himself to argue and have a great dispute with Moshe? And the answer is Para Aduma Ra'ah. He saw the law of the Para Aduma, which interestingly we will have in next week's Parsha of Chukas. The obvious question is, Ma Inyan Har Sinai to Shemitah? Or what is the connection between the Para Aduma and Korach's challenge to Moshe and Aaron? And he explains this Medrash Pliya in the following way. After all, what does the Para Aduma represent? So we know that Emeritus Hashem, next Shabbos, when we read Parshas Chukas, while Rashi begins his commentary on Chukas and explains the Para Aduma as the quintessential chok, a law that we cannot understand. Interestingly, at the end, what does Aaron do? Rashi. At the end, Rashi brings Rav Moshe Hadarshan, who's going to give us some insight as to what the Para Aduma is all about. And what does he say? The Para Aduma is to remind us that the mother is to come and clean up the mess of its child. Mashal ben Shivcha, what is to be compared to the child of a handmaiden, Shetinef Paltin, that dirtied the palace floor. Amru, they said, Tovo Imo, let the mommy come, Uskaneach Hatzoa, and remove the schmutz that the child made on the floor. Kach, Tovo Para, so too let the mother come, Usachaper al Ha'egel. Rashi quotes the Tanchuma, that the Para Aduma was an atonement for the golden calf. The mother comes and atones, cleans up the mess of the child. If so, what happened after the Chet HaEgel? Moshe took away from each family the Bechorah, the right of the firstborn, to be the representative in and at the Mishkan, and gave it to Shevet Levi. Now, Korach can say to the people, wait a minute, now that the Para Aduma has provided atonement for the sin of the golden calf, I can restore and give back to the Bechorim, to the firstborn, what's rightfully theirs, and give each of the firstborn in every family more Kedusha. Whoa. If so, again, speaks so specially high in regard for the Jewish people that they want more. What could Korach promise them? A carvel with hashgacha, a kosher. Starbucks. What could Korach give the people? He could give them more spirituality. Okay, so what's the problem? The problem is that Korach forgot one very important pasuk. We read in Parshas Kisisa, right after the sin of the golden calf, in chapter 32, verse 34, the next to the last verse in chapter 32, Hashem says, ouch, uviyom pokti ufokadati alehem chatosam. And what does that mean? It means that on the day that I make my account, I shall bring their sin to account against them. In Rashi, he says very clearly, what does it mean? Uviyom pokti. Says Rashi, now I've listened to Moshe's prayer, and I will not destroy them unilaterally. However, listen to these words. Tomid, constantly, says Hashem, Kishe'efkod aleim abunoseim, when I will remember over the course of the years their transgressions, upakadati aleihem, and I will offer judgments, punishment against them, ma'at min avon hazer, a little bit I will add from this sin of the golden calf, imshar ha'avonos, with the rest of their transgressions. V'ein pur'onos bo'a al Yisrael. The Medrash is teaching us that there's no such thing as punishment coming to the Jewish people, she'ein bo kitzas mipiroyon avon ha'egel, based upon the Gemara in Sanhedrin 102a, any and all puranos, punishment coming to the Jewish people, has a little bit of the sin of the golden calf. And indeed, this is how the Meshech Chochmah learns the chasima, the closing of the bracha of Yom Kippur, to each of our tefillos, that we say, Ki atah solchan liYisrael, you are the one who forgives the Jewish people, u'mochalan, you are the one who pardons the Shivtei Yeshurun. And the Meshech Chochmah understands this to mean that each and every year on Yom Kippur, Hashem forgives us for the sin of the golden calf and for the sin of the Chet Meraklim, our rejection of Eretz Yisrael. This very powerful idea is the following. Yes, we realize and see over the last few years the incredible Nisim and Niflaos that Hashem has provided for us today. We are almost at that point that 50 or more % of world Jewish population will be in Eretz Yisrael. We're not there yet. But with the many miracles that we have seen with our own eyes in front of us, we realize that we are living in special times. And we realize that Ein Mi Lehisha Ein, ultimately the only one that we can and do rely on is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is the existence of Hashem. We say it every day in the Shmoneh Esrei, Bonei Yerushalayim. It's a process. He builds. We contribute to this building. We participate to this building by our being in Eretz Yisrael, by our supporting Eretz Yisrael, by our learning Torah, teaching Torah, supporting Torah. But we know that the Geula, the redemption, comes about Kima, and we dare not make the mistake of wanting, as Korach did, immediate gratification. No, we have emunah that afal pi sheyisma meya, even though our reckoning, Sol Shum Zayin the Geula, we can't wait. But we say and we believe, Achakelo b'chol yom sheyavo. Remember, the best is yet to come. Shabbat shalom to all.